Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Tuesday. I'm glad you're here. Catch that game last night? Man, that was great. But I will say, the officiating, not so much. I wish I was a betting man. I would have bet over and I would have won. Some of the officiating, though, to me, it looked like maybe those officials had money on Miami. Just saying. There were a lot of things that should have been called that were fairly obvious that weren't. But anyway. Let's get into today's Red Mic message, shall we? Systems beat goals. Today's Red Mic message comes from Scott Adams, creator of Dilbert, author of How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. He also has a book where the word bigly is in the title. Also, 2020 Scott Adams calendar, made in the USA. I think it's still available on Amazon. Fair warning, though, this one's going to mess with how most of us were taught to think about success. Scott Adams had a line that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. He said, goals are for losers. Now, before you get your panties in a twist, he doesn't mean people who set goals are bad. He means that goals are a bad system for living, for improvement. And here's why. A goal is a destination. A system is how you live your life. It's sort of like my attitude about outdoor advertising. Billboards. Billboards to me are great for you're going somewhere and you're going to that one place and you put those billboards in high traffic areas where people are going to see them either coming or going from that place. A good example. One of the best examples of outdoor advertising I have ever seen in my entire life is the Big Texan Steakhouse out of Amarillo. Highway 287, just outside of Wichita Falls, a few miles outside of Wichita Falls, heading north towards Amarillo, you'll notice what I think is the first Big Texan billboard. And basically it says the Big Texan, home of the 72-ounce steak, free if you eat it in an hour. And then it says however many miles it is ahead, right? 35, 40 minutes, an hour, depending on how fast you're driving, you'll see another one of those same billboards. If you're going to Amarillo and you pass that billboard several times, if you're hungry for a steak, by the time you get to Amarillo, there's a real good chance that that's where you're going because it's destination advertising. Same thing with Buc-ee's, does advertising amazingly well. Everybody knows that Buc-ee's has the cleanest bathrooms in the world. They put those strategically. To me, those are destinations. Those are basically goals for, hey, if you need to pee, come to Buc-ee's, right? Real similar thing to what Scott Adams is talking about. Again, goals are destinations. Systems are how you live your life. A goal sounds like this: lose 20 pounds, write a book, get promoted, win a championship. A system sounds like this: eat reasonably, move every day, write 500 words every weekday, show up early, do high leverage work, build trust, practice fundamentals every single day. Now, the end result in both of those can be the same, but they're different. Goals, systems, and systems are going to beat goals every time. Goals make you unhappy a lot. Systems let you win every day because you can see the incremental changes. When you live by goals, you're technically failing the moment you succeed. Every day before the finish line feels like you're falling short. If you miss the goal, you're disappointed. You hit the goal, you're happy for about 5 minutes, and then you're like, now what? Sort of like the end of the movie, The Candidate with Robert Redford. Whole movie, he's trying to win. He doesn't think he's going to win. And then he wins, and then you see the realization on his face in the limo, and he goes, what? If you haven't seen the movie, it's great. It's really cynical, but it's a great movie about political campaigns. Goals are binary. You either win or you don't. Life doesn't work that way. Systems, however, do. When you live by a system, success isn't something you're waiting on, it's something you're already doing. If your system is write every weekday, then every day that you write, you win. If your system is move my body every day, sweat every day, then you're succeeding even if the scale doesn't move. If your system is show up prepared and be reliable, then your reputation compounds whether a title changes or not. Systems don't depend on motivation. They depend on structure. You don't need inspiration to follow a checklist. You don't need hype to show up. You just work the system. Here's the part that I think a lot of leaders miss. Systems can stack. One good system is going to improve multiple outcomes. Example: exercise improves health, mood, energy, and discipline. Reading daily improves your judgment, your creativity, and your leadership. Consistency builds trust faster than talent ever will. Goals usually improve one thing. Systems improve who you are. Scott Adams put it this way: goals define failure most of the time, where systems define progress all the time. The real shift is this: you stop asking, did I win? And you start asking, did I show up and work the system? That's a better question for leadership. It's a better question for careers. It's a better question for health. It's a better question for your life. So, yes, set goals if you want, but don't worship them. Build systems that make success inevitable, boring, and repeatable. That's not motivation. That's discipline. That's not hype. That's leadership. Here's today's takeaway: goals create pressure, systems create progress. If you need motivation, your system is broken. Winning once feels good, but showing up daily changes who you are. Long games are won by boring habits done consistently. So don't measure your life by outcomes you can't control. Measure it by the systems you choose to live by. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting or helpful. I hope you're able to put some of these things in place in your own life. Please give me a like, a follow, and a share. I'd appreciate that a whole lot. Good thoughts for me on Friday. Got a job interview. Excited about that. I'll see you again next time. And until next time, don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon. I'll see you.